Hi, everyone. I'm going to show you how to do a hybrid class. Now, this semester I have two. I have Chem 115 and I have Chem 121. So a hybrid, you're still going to do a lot of stuff online, and we're just going to meet 2 days a week. I did this so that it doesn't take up so much your schedule, because the bad thing about a science class is it takes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it limits your schedule. So what I decided to do is we're going to meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then you'll still have to do a lot more stuff online because it's still a 4 credit class. But the way it'll work out is that you can still get the material in. You don't have to come as much, so you have more room in your schedule. Okay, so right now I have 115 up, and again 121, same kind of deal. So I might switch between the two of them, but it won't matter. Same kind of deal for both. Okay, so this is the home page, and you'll notice down here there's something called a checklist. Okay, now the checklist, what it is, it looks like, I don't know if you can see that, it looks like this. Okay, and what it is when you come in on Tuesdays, whatever it says on the checklist for Tuesdays, that's the stuff that we're going to cover together. Okay, on this one it says we're going to go through instructions, and then there's some lab safety. Okay, so we're going to do that anytime there's on here, anytime there's something listed on a Tuesday. Like for chapter 2, it says, for week 2 I should say, it says we're going to do scientific method, significant figures, and dimensional analysis. Okay, so what you'll see is there's a significant figure practice. Oop, I missed the one. There's dimensional analysis. I will have these run off for you, and we'll do them together in class. So in class, I'm not gonna lecture. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the materials that are on here, I'll have them run off for you, and then we'll do them together. Okay, so then I can mark them off, and then you've got them done. Okay, the way we're gonna do labs, and I hope you can see it on here. I don't know if you can, but also on the homepage there's the checklist, and everybody will get one. But anyway, the lab, it'll say lab measurements, or if you miss the lab, there's going to be a simulation. So if you go down to the very end, there's simulations. Okay, and the simulations are here. All right, so all you have to do is, if you miss the lab, you'll do the simulation instead. And the simulation for the labs are done through a program called Labster. So you'll click on it, it'll go into it, you'll have to load it. Make sure you give it time to load, don't quit. Okay, I always do that part. And again, you go through, and it's a lab. It'll go through the lab, it'll show you things. It has something called the launch pad that'll help you. Your first time or two doing these, you might get a little confused, but after a while, you guys, they'll be a piece of cake. One thing you have to remember about Labster, though, is you cannot do it on your phone or a tablet. You have to do it on a computer. Okay, I don't have any say over them. I don't have any control. I mean, all I can do is download it and put it in here. I can't go back and change anything. So keep that in mind if you have questions. But what I found, the more and more we do these, the more and more people, are really too frustrated by them. They're going to take you 45 minutes to an hour to do. Okay, so again, you come Tuesday and we do these assignments. I mark them off. You don't come Tuesday, you miss Tuesday, you do these assignments on your own. Send them to me. I'll go through them, and then I'll send them back to you with the correct, like here, scientific method questions. All right, we're doing that the second week or something. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There'll be a video here, and you watch it or whatever. Again, we'll do this in class together, so it can be marked off. If you miss class, you just do it and send it to me. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that. All right, the same, again, like I said, with labs. We're going to, at the very first here, you'll see a lab safety. I want everybody to do that. Okay, that's just going through general rules and all that. So everybody has to do that one, hopefully, and you can see the due date, August 27th. Then again, you'll see due dates on all of the modules. Now, a lot of these assignments, like I said, if you come to class on Tuesdays, we'll do together. I'll go through problems with you. I'm not going to lecture. The lectures are right here. Okay, so if we start chapter 2, here's me, and here's the PowerPoint, and I will blah, 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 okay? So it's 15 minutes long, you take your notes, whatever, okay? You'll also notice on here, on both of the classes, I have extra things. Like here, there's some more practice. Okay, here's a worksheet that I found on the internet. Now, if you want to download it here, if you just want to look at it, you just click on the name. But you see it comes up, and it also has the answers. Okay, so these are just for your own help. So let's say you're not really getting significant figures. So you do these problems, and then when you're done, you can go back and check and see if you did them right. Okay, it's not an assignment, it's just there to help you. Okay, so again, I put those in, they're kind of randomly put in if I think you need them. Again, here's when we get done with dimensional analysis. Okay, here's another worksheet that has more practice problems, if you want to call them that. And again, if you're not having any troubles with dimension analysis problems, you don't have to do them. They're just for you to help. Okay, because again, remember with online, you tend to do a little bit more yourself. So I just put these in here to help you. And you'll see them randomly throughout if I think it's a topic you need more help with. Okay, so again, if you look on the checklist, you'll see the stuff you should have covered. So like week 1, you should have lectures 1 and 2 from chapter 1. And again, it's listed on the sheet. When we come in week 2, I expect you to have lectures 1, 2, and 3 from chapter 2 done. We'll do the scientific methods, significant figures, and dimensional analysis. And again, anything that I have listed on here for Tuesday, we will do. Okay, and then I have Thursday, I have the labs. And again, when you look at the labs, they're all down in the end, and they go in order. They have the due dates on them. Okay, so that's when you would have been doing them. And it says on here, so if you come and do the lab on Thursday on elements and compounds, which is the second week, you do not have to do the simulation. Okay, if you miss the lab, you have to do the simulation. So you get a choice of one or the other. Okay, and again, they all have due dates on them. So you got to watch the due dates. So if you miss the lab and you don't do the simulation, then you get a 0 for the lab. Okay, and then there's going to be another category that says other. Okay, and what other is the other things you have to do during the week that we're not going to do in class. Okay, so if I'm in my modules here, okay, so we did significant figures and our practice, but there's a quiz here and there's a quiz here. Those we won't do, and you have to do those on your own. So we will do this one and we'll get this one done, but these other assignments, and again, they'll be listed on the sheet, you'll have to go back in and do. And again, a quiz, here's they're always timed. So once you start, you've got to finish. If you quit in the middle, you're done. That's your grade. Okay? And I'm sorry, but you don't get to see the right answers because I had people take the quiz early. They'd write down all the right answers and then give them out to everybody. So sorry about that. You will see your score, but I can't tell you which ones you got wrong. And again, I apologize for that. But if people didn't cheat, I wouldn't have to do that. Anyway, so when you get your sheet, there'll be stuff we do together in class. If you don't come to class, you do it on your own. Okay, there's a lab. It's listed on the sheet. If you do the lab with us in class, then you don't have to do the simulation. If you miss the lab, you do the simulation. Okay, and then other is, again, the quizzes, or, because I try to put after every, if you look in the modules, after every lecture, like here's a lecture, here's an assignment. Here's a lecture, here's an assignment. Lecture, here's an assignment, and then here's a quiz, and then here's an assignment. Okay, so we'll do this together, and then you'll have to do that one on your own. And then again, watch the lecture. And then we'll do this together, and then here's a quiz for you to do. And again, they all have due dates. Okay, you can do stuff ahead of time. You do not have to wait till the due date to do it, but it's really important that you don't miss the due date, because I will go in after the due date and put in zeros for all the stuff you didn't finish. Okay, and again, assignments can be problems. Assignments can be like a short video. I think this one is a video. You watch the video and then you answer a couple questions, or they can be problems, they can be a quiz, but there's always something, because here's chapter 3, part 1, classifying elements. This is an assignment. Part 2. And the other thing you'll see in the last part, I will put, and here I didn't, the material, or the PowerPoint, so you can print it off ahead of time if you want. Okay, I guess most people haven't been doing that, but if you want the PowerPoint, without me babbling, you can do that. And again, let's see, let's go to the next part here. I'm right in the way, of course. Okay, next. Okay, so here's your compounds and elements assignment. And then here's a review for a test. Okay, again, there's me going through and reviewing with you. Here's some other things to help you. Here's a worksheet that I found. And again, you can download it if you want, or you can click on it. And it has practice problems for you. And again, this is not an assignment. It's just something to help you if you need it. Okay. And then, so this is your materials. And then when it's time to take the test, okay, they're graded. They're timed. And again, the reason why I time the test, I don't want to know your Google research skills. If I give you all day, you will use all day and you'll look every single thing up. And that's not really telling me what you know about chemistry. You need to know your material because it's timed. Okay. And then once you log in, you have to finish your test. If you log out, you can't go back in again. Okay. So it's log in, take your test, and be done. All right. And you can see I usually put covers the first 3 chapters. Please have a periodic table with you. I'll have the materials you need, I have in there. But again, it opens up on a Monday and it closes up on a Friday. So the next day on Saturday, the 11th, I'll go in and I'll write in, if you didn't take the test, I'll have to put in a 0. And if you miss a test, you guys, and there's a reason, you need to let me know before. Don't tell me 2 weeks after. And a lot of times if you miss a test, I'll call you. I'll email you and say, hey, what's going on? If you have a valid excuse, then I can open it up for you. Okay. So that's important that you remember that. Okay. So again, back to modules, the way it works, all you need to do is just go and order the modules. If the checklist is, and you know what, I can go to 121 here and I'll show you, it's the same thing. Okay. The checklist is also on here. Okay. I will give you one the first day of class. If you lose yours, they're there. I'll probably have some more in the classroom too. But again, the stuff you really need to follow is the modules. Okay. Chemistry, Chem 121 is going to be the same thing. There's an introduction. There's this in here is the instructions. Okay. It's a video on how to use all the materials. And then there's just a little assignment to introduce yourself. Just type a few things, let me know who you are or whatever. But again, lab safety, the first lecture, and then here's an assignment. A couple assignments, and then here's another assignment. So it's going to be this, if we're going to go through this, it's going to be on the list, the checklist for Tuesday. I will have them run off ahead of time. We'll do them together. Okay. If it's not something we do together, I will have it like these quizzes we won't do together. Those will be under other for you to do. Okay. And again, we'll go through these, and the labs are on the end. So here's lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4, lab 5. You do not have to do these if you come to class. If you come to class, then you don't have to worry about it. You did the lab already. Okay. There's one lab, I think right here. I might be ideal gas. There's one lab where this is during Thanksgiving. So we're not going to meet for a lab. So, this will be your assignment. So you have to do a couple simulations, even if you come to class. But if you don't come to class, you have to do a simulation. I hope that makes sense to you. And again, I'll explain it more later. But that's how we're going to do the hybrids. Okay. On Tuesdays, we're going to meet. We're going to go through materials together. I'll answer questions, show you how to do problems. I am not going to introduce new material. You need to watch the lectures yourself and take your notes. On Thursdays, we'll do a lab. And again, if you miss the lab, you do a simulation. Most of the simulations are pretty close to the lab. Sometimes they don't have everything I want in the simulations, but they're pretty close. Okay, so you'll have to do a simulation to make up for the lab that you missed. And then on the sheet 2, I'll also have other. If it's other, that's something you're doing on your own. That's how these classes are set up, okay? The checklist is on the homepage. The syllabi is on the homepage. And again, you just follow the modules in order. Anytime you have a question, you just email me. We can do conferences like this. Canvas has what they call the big blue button. We can do an individual conference to talk about stuff if you need help too. And again, I'll be at the college on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can come in and see me. Schedule a time when we can work through stuff. Okay? So I hope that helps. This is our video for instructions. And again, if you have any questions, email me and I'll do my best to answer your questions.